Instead of renting a list, you could compile one. Here, for example, you could find someone on Craigslist in the Philippines to build a list for you. You could also hire someone using Fiverr. Upwork is another great way to find contractors for list compiling. You could also compile a list by doing searches yourself or paying someone to do it for you. For example, you could simply search on Google for DJs if they were your potential buyers. You could search on Facebook for fans of a particular band. Instagram could help you find people with certain interests. Twitch could help you find people with specific video game preferences. And lastly, you could find people who belong to certain groups on LinkedIn. The final way to construct your list is to build it from scratch. Many people default to this option without first considering other options such as buying a list. In reality, building a list is just one of many options, and it's the hardest and longest to do. But it does have benefits, such as building a captivated audience that will stick with you in the long run. As the saying goes, the money is in the list, and if you built a list from the ground up, it could become increasingly more valuable over time. The easiest way to build your list is to give something in exchange for contact information. You could treat this like a transaction. If you want a prospect to give you his or her contact information, you better give them something quite valuable in exchange. Perhaps something they couldn't easily find by searching on Google or elsewhere. What you give them is called a lead magnet. Lead magnets are for capturing leads. They don't necessarily convert people into customers, but they capture their contact information so that you can potentially sell them something in the future. Let's look at some examples of lead magnets. Here are some church bulletins you might get in exchange for your name and email. This report and audio file show you how to build a six-figure blogging business. Here, you get 5 free meal plans. This cheat sheet reveals the secret to amazing SEO performance. Note the excellent copywriting that proves the seller knows what he is talking about. Here, Neil Patel is focusing on selling the outcome, a $4 million business. This is essentially the promise. In order to achieve that outcome, you need to click the call to action. Often the best marketing materials are those that focus on the results rather than on the product or the offer itself. Checklists make for great lead magnets. This one gives you a list of what you need to do to launch your course. This lead magnet gives you a one-page marketing plan in exchange for your name and email. The last example I want to show you is one of my favorites. Here you have to provide your personal details to see your results. I assume that this is for something like a personality test. You will fill out a survey to reveal what kind of person you are, and at the end of the survey, you need to input your data to get the results. Lead magnets like these are particularly effective because the user has already invested in getting the results, because they spent time filling out the survey. They're already committed.